Hello, everyone. Dr. Hall here. So what we have collected here is a review sheet to help you identify some of the key facts and pieces of information that we covered in the first lesson. One of the most important things that we covered is that there are 6 forms of energy. And I hope throughout this lesson, you'll understand each of these and what they represent, and you can identify some examples. Next, it's important to note that the forms of energy can be converted from one to another, right? So we can go from chemical energy to thermal energy and vice versa, depending on the process we're using. Another important factor is that there are some key units that we use to understand energy and quantify it. And we will switch between a lot of these throughout the course. Some of these are BTUs, calories with a capital C, calories with a lowercase c, joules, kilowatt hours, and therms. So each of these are important and quite often used in different fields. So you have to be comfortable with each of these because you'll likely see it many times in many different circumstances. So there are also units of power, which is distinctly different from energy. And that's important to understand and appreciate the difference. The units for power are watts and kilowatts, joules per second, horsepower, and calories per second. We also touched on the sources of energy. Some of them are renewable. And here we define renewable as those that can be replenished over and over again and are not depleted. Some examples of those are hydropower, solar, wind, tidal, and geothermal energy. There are also non-renewable sources. And the way we define these is that they cannot be replenished over and over again in a reasonable amount of time. Some of these include fossil fuels, tar sands, and nuclear fission. So they rely on finite sources that take a long time to form. As a part of our sources of energy section, we also covered fossil fuel distribution across the world and in the US so that you can understand where these finite resources are and how much we have. So in covering all of these previous topics, you'll also note that there are a few important definitions. Power is the rate at which we do work, right? So it's how much work we can get done in a given amount of time. Energy is our capacity to do work, and work is the amount of things that we get done. And many of these are interrelatable. So for example, power is energy divided by some period of time. Energy is power multiplied by a duration of usage. And energy consumption per day is equal to power consumption times those hours used within a day. So I think if you focus on each of these key concepts here in the fact sheet provided to you, I think you'll find them easier, and there will also be some practice questions in which these concepts will help. Okay, so please study this, practice the practice questions frequently, and when you're ready, please proceed to the quiz. Okay, good luck, everyone.